Where did you get that blue light? Is that,
Just Amazon.
was it expensive?
100 maybe.
Okay, because I bought our last one from Costco.
I
But
had
we can't find it, of course.
I had the one from Costco for years and years and years.
I gave it to my kids to bring to college, and we can't find it now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I had it maybe 15 years it lasted. So
No, it was like $90, I want to say.
yeah. So I mean, it's an investment. It's not that bad.
Right.
Oh, you have your blocks.
Bring this over to my belly later.
All right. Today is yoga for strength. We're going to work the legs a lot today. We're going to go into some funky balances and poses for fun. But a lot of just working through muscles, trying to get really strong, trying to stay really present in the physical body, and not too much slow and stretchy. So we are going to start on our stomachs. If you prefer child's pose, go to child's pose. Otherwise, all the way down into crocodile pose. We're going to work the back a lot today. So start to soften into the mat, really landing on the mat. Think about all the muscles of the shoulders, the neck, the back, and try and allow as much softness as possible. I'm thinking about getting longer, longer, longer in this spine, as if the weight of gravity is just pulling you down and taking all the tension out of your spine. Start to land in your breath and find your breath. Think about the point of your forehead that's touching your hands. And notice the contact here. So notice where your hands are touching your forehead. Try to become present for the physical sensation rather than the thoughts in the background. And here you have the chance to set an intention for your practice. An intention is kind of like a truth vow, something that you're working with, promise to yourself. It can simply be, I am going to be present for my practice. Or if you're working with something like working with worth or self-worth, you could say, I am worthy. And as you get distracted, as the thoughts start to stream and whirl, you just come back to your thought, your truth vow, and whisper it inside until you're settling back into your practice. And then we're going to pick up our right leg and get really long in the right leg. And then land it down. Pick up the left leg, get really long, like somebody pulled your foot, made it longer, and placed it down. See if you feel a little more space in the back. We'll start to move and breathe. So we're warming up the muscles of the back. Inhaling as we lift the shoulders up out of the ground, and exhale as you lower. Trying to lift with the muscles of our back and not pressing into our hands and using our arms. Think about lifting and getting longer rather than lifting really high. Starting to really connect to and find the muscles in the back. Maybe starting to lift the fingertips and the feet. Engaging the backs of the legs, the glutes. And then bring it back to crocodile pose. Shimmy the hips, let go. Bring your hands down ahead of the shoulders. Press into your hands a little bit. So start to fire up the muscles of the chest. And then we're going to roll one shoulder at a time, nice and slow. Just trying to feel the muscles of your shoulder. And then reverse your circles. One at a time. And then place your forearms down, elbows ahead of your shoulders. Make space for your arms. Feel like you're pulling your hands apart without letting them move. So start to activate the front of the chest. And feel like you're pulling the sternum a little bit further forward. Try not to duck the head backwards. Get the head in line with the spine. Find your breath. Active, strong arms. You can tuck the toes if you're getting any pinching in the back. Breathe. And then we'll do a nice, strong, cleansing breath, lion's breath. Inhaling in and highing out with a nice open mouth and a tongue out. We do it 3 times and then return to crocodile pose. So deep breath in. And then return to crocodile pose. Forehead down and notice any sensations that come up. Sometimes when we cleanse the throat, there can be some tingling. Notice. Be present for the sensations and soften into the mat. Then leaving the upper body where it is, bend the right leg, send the heel to the ceiling, start to fire up the right leg. Lift the right knee and pulse the heel to the ceiling. Notice if you're using the left glute to lift this leg up. Try to keep the left side of the body soft, just using the back of the right leg. Use the glute on the right leg. And then lower the right leg, bend the left leg, heel to the ceiling. And notice if this side's easier or more difficult, if you have more holding patterns. Notice any gripping in the low back. Notice if you're pulling into the upper body. Try to isolate and find the back of the right leg. And then lower the left leg and send yourself back to child's pose. Little reset. And then tabletop to child's. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Starting to breathe and locate any tension in the body, swaying, moving. In whatever way feels right. Swinging the shoulders, swaying in the hips, moving through the spine. And then come on up to tabletop position and slowly lower your forearms down to the ground, making lots of room. So not all the way back underneath your shoulders. Forearms down, engage again. A little tightness in the core muscles, the ones closest to the spine, just to keep you stable. You're going to slowly peel your elbows up off the ground as slow as you can. And then slowly lower. Arms and chest remain engaged. Watch for compensation patterns in the neck. Try to soften the face. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Watch for buckling in the shoulders. Watch for lowering your chest and buckling. Try to stay engaged. And then bring it all the way up and slowly return to tabletop. Bring your right hand to your right shoulder, elbow out to the side. Start to engage. So really lifting up out of this left shoulder. We're gonna bring the right elbow slowly down towards the left hand and then back. So inhale as you open, exhale as you twist down. Staying engaged, so you're really working the inside of this left shoulder. Keep your hips steady and still. Lower the right hand and take the left arm in a big slow circle. So now opening up those shoulder muscles. And then left hand comes to left shoulder, just a tap. You're just holding in here, not gripping. Inhale as you lift the elbow up. Exhale as you bring it down towards the right wrist. And then bring the left hand down and take the right arm in a nice big slow circle. Bring the right hand down, tuck the toes. And we're gonna bring our knees to a hover, engage the legs. Lift up out of the ground with all the muscles of the chest nice and strong. Hold here. And then we're going to squeeze the knees in and squeeze the knees out. So legs nice and strong and active, arms, chest strong and active. Bring the knees back to neutral. Start to land on the left leg. Bring the right foot up, knee bent, and take the leg in a big circle. Switch sides, big circle, left leg. So start to move a little quicker. Pump up the muscles a little more. Try to remain engaged in the legs, engaged in the arms. Take breaks as you need. And then slowly make your way to down dog. Find your down dog. Take any movements that feel right. And then land in the stillness of down dog. Connect to your breath. Bring the weight onto the left hand. Slowly bring the right hand towards the right foot. Land it down, fingertips pointing towards the foot. And then press into this hand a little. Open up the back of the wrist. And bend the knees. Slowly switch sides. And then back to down dog. Get really strong in the arms, active in the chest. Without moving the arms, lift the right leg up. And then we're going to bend the knee and bring it around in a circle towards that right wrist. And then back to the three-legged down dog. Round in a circle and back. And if this is too much, return to our tabletop version. And then take it to three-legged dog. Step through low lunge. And you can use your blocks, moving and breathing here, warming up the legs. So bending your knee as you inhale, sending the right leg towards straight as you exhale. Taking any movements with the hips, taking any changes of weight on the right foot. Exploring your own muscles and holding patterns. Changing the weight on your foot, feeling the strength in your legs. And then find a low lunge, holding onto your blocks just for balance. Really strong in both legs. Pick up the toes of the right foot, make sure they're not gripping. Place them down nice and soft. Whole right leg nice and strong. We're going to start to pick it up a little. We're going to come forward on the right foot, draw the left heel to the glute and back. Start to work through trying to keep both legs active the whole time. Once you get the hang of it, maybe bringing your arms up and challenging your balance. Inhale as you pull forward. Exhale as you sweep it back. If you have some excess energy to get rid of, make this more like a fire breath and make it a little faster. Inhale deeply, exhale, push out. Keep that right leg active without gripping the toes. And then find yourself in low lunge. Feel that right hip, right glute. Find your breath. Start to peel up the back leg, maybe lifting all the way to warrior three. And then lower down, right foot meets left, down dog. Catch your breath. Let go of your thoughts. Feel your hands and feet on the ground. Get really strong in the arms and chest, and without moving them, lift left leg up. Strong left leg. Bend the knee and then circles towards the left wrist. Three-legged dog. And then three-legged dog, step through, low lunge. Moving and breathing, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Both legs strong and active. Land in your low lunge. Pick up the toes. Place them down nice and soft. Strong left leg. Adjusting your blocks if you need to. Inhale as you draw right heel towards glute. And exhale back. And then start to pump it up if you're ready. Challenging your balance. Leaning forward. Exhale, sweeping back. Slow, bring the heel towards the glute. Find the back of the leg. Maybe pumping up to fire breath. Maybe not this time. That's my balance. And then bring it back to low lunge. Find your low lunge. Both legs active, maybe coming all the way up to warrior three. Slowly lower down. Left foot meets right. Down dog. And this time bend your knees, look towards the hands, right foot outside right hand, left foot outside left hand. Wide feet, so about mat width apart. Find your legs, lift up so your spine is long. So you can either hold the blocks or lift and hold with the muscles of the back and the core. Find your legs. And then we're going to slowly roll onto the outer edge of the right foot and slowly roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. So we're really starting to find those stabilizer muscles on the outside edges of our legs. You can hold your block. It's about to snow. We need these muscles, make them strong. And then if you have your block, holding on just for balance, we're going to slowly peel up one heel at a time. So thinking about all the muscles of the foot, thinking about all the muscles in the leg. And then we're going to slowly wiggle our hips all the way down to yogi squat pose. So find that place you can hold nice and strong in the legs, maybe holding onto your block. Both legs strong. Find the place where your knees and ankles feel comfortable, not overstrained. You may need to be a little higher than you think you need to be. We're going to start to press in through the heels to pull up. Inhale, exhale, come all the way down. Press through the legs, inhale, exhale, come all the way down. This should be all in the legs. Fire up the glutes. Try not to use the back. And then bring it down. Find your Malasana Yogi Squat. You can place your block underneath your hips if you're ready to take a little more of a break. Find your breath. We're going to pump that up even more. So enjoy your break. Feel your breath. And then we're going to return. This time we're going to lift up as we inhale. Switch legs. So right leg comes across left, tap. Bring it back. Exhale as you lower. So it's inhale up, exhale across, inhale back, exhale lower. Arms can stay at the hips until you get the idea. Inhale up, cross the other side. Exhale, inhale, exhale. If you are not staying connected to your muscles, slow it down and make the movement smaller. Don't lower the hips so much. Inhale up, exhale over, inhale open, and exhale down. If you want to use your hands, use them in a sweeping crossing circle like you're cleansing, sweeping them around. Inhale up, exhale cross. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale cross. And then find your Malasana. This time, take your block, sit. Maybe adjust your feet a little different so you can really get your spine long. If you would like to bring your hands to your inner thighs and push open, make sure you're pushing back with your legs as well. So you get that pushing from both directions, counter force. Tall in the spine, maybe bringing thumb and forefinger to touch on each hand. Find your breath. Slowly bring feet back, about hip width apart. And we're gonna peel ourselves up to a forward fold, nice and slow. And take the tension out of the head. Move your block out the way. Maybe notice some heat in the body. Play with the feet, play with the muscles of the legs, or just hang out and take a nice, slow fold. Bend the knees, inhale, arms over heads, come all the way to stand. Exhale, prayer to heart. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale, prayer to heart. Find your mountain pose, and we're gonna work through balancing and the legs. So find your mountain pose. Left leg becomes your standing leg. Try not to move the hips. Bring right leg forward. Hands at prayer or hands on hips to keep an eye on the hips. We're going to inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower. And think about lifting from the inside edge of the right foot or the heel. So you're really firing up the inner thigh. Bend the left leg a little more. Take the right leg out to the side, and we're gonna lift right heel up and down. So this time we're lifting with the outer edge of the leg, and try to keep it in the right leg rather than all in the torso. Slowly take the right leg behind you, toes down, lifting with the heel. So lift, whoop, and lower. Long, strong leg. Lower the toes down, bend the left leg a little more, and we're gonna go all the way in a circle. So you're gonna come onto the left leg, bring the right leg around, tap, and then right leg back. So little movement in the left leg, trying to challenge your balance. Right leg remains strong, so we're not just flopping it around in the hip joint. Trying to use the muscles of the leg. Bring it back. Come on over to warrior 3. Lift, lengthen. Bend the knee, bring the heel towards the glute, nice and slow. And then all the way back to mountain pose and tap out that right foot. Connect to our breath. Inhale up. Exhale, prayer to heart. Take time to notice that left hip. Notice differences left and right sides. Bring your prayer to heart. Prepare for right side. So bring your weight onto your right leg. Left leg comes forward. Inhale. Inner edge of the left foot lifts. Exhale, lower. And then out to the left side, lift with the outside edge of the leg and lower. Try to keep this in the leg and not wobbling around in the torso. Torso remains nice and steady. Slowly take the left leg backwards. Inhale, lift the heel. Exhale, down. Land the left toes, deeper bend in the right leg, and we're gonna move through the circle. So slowly pull the left leg forward, and then all the way back. This time torso can move in the way that it feels natural. We're really burning out this right leg, right glute. And then tap the right toes back. Land. And then all the way up. Warrior three. Lift the leg nice and strong. Try to keep the hips even. And the back really strong. And then all the way to mountain pose. Tap out the right foot. And connect to our breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Prayer to heart hold. Bend the knees and slowly forward fold. You may want to grab your blocks. So holding your blocks here, slowly lower the hips. So bent knees, lowered hips, get strong in the legs. So fire up all the muscles of the legs. Bend the right knee, bring the heel towards the glute. And then send the heel past the left leg. Grab the foot if you can. Maybe you stay here. If you want to play with challenging your balance, you're going to slowly lower the hips towards the ground. You may need to adjust your block. You may be able to come all the way down. If you can grab that outer edge of the foot, come all the way down to a balance. Slow, lower, leave the leg where it is. You're going to come forward on that hip. So roll over onto the hip. Right leg long, left leg gets strong. Hands are just for balance. You're going to lift that right heel up. Feel the muscles of the inner thigh. Breathe. Bend the right leg. Bring the heel towards the glute. And you're coming over to your seat. So try to find the sits bones on the ground. You may not be able to keep this left foot on the ground. Find nice tall spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist right elbow towards right knee, and then land. So the twist is coming through the rib cage and not in the low back. Breathe. If you were to remove your arms, you should not slingshot back. So watch for gripping in the arms. Watch for yanking your body around. Slowly bring the torso back to center. Hands to the mat. Unravel and send yourself back to a down dog. We're going to play with floating a little bit on our hands. So bending both knees, lift the right leg. You're going to bring the right leg past the left. And you're going to slowly pull it over to the right hand, tap, and then back. And if you're ready to start playing with floating, you can start to pull up and land light on that left leg. So pulling with the leg, engaging the back and shoulders, and landing light. Otherwise, just moving the leg back and forth. Wherever you're at, land back down in your down dog. Find your breath. And then the other side, bending the right knee, lifting the left, taking it past the right foot. And either back and forth, or little lifts and hops, trying to slow the land. So you're engaging and not just dropping back down. And then wherever you're at, down dog. Bend the knees and either float or step forward. Land feet underneath hips and forward fold. Bend both knees, sink the hips back a little. Lift the spine so it's long and strong. So, we're gonna keep the legs strong and active, but rather than pressing into the legs, we're gonna work the back. So, begin with your hands just behind you. Lift shoulders and lower, trying to find the muscles of the back. And if you're ready, you can bring your arms out to your shoulders, make your torso a little heavier. And if you're ready to go a little further, you're gonna lift your arms forward of your shoulders, making your torso even heavier, trying to find the muscles of your back. So try not to move from the glutes, try to move from the muscles of your back. Bend the knees, lower the torso to the thighs, let go, and then inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer to heart, hold. This time we're gonna go to our balance pose on the other side. So set up your block. We're gonna bring weight onto the right leg. Then fold forward. Slowly bring left heel towards right glute. Maybe grab the outer edge of your foot. Slowly lower the hips. See if you can lengthen the leg. It is easier if you have your block. Let me show you. Easier if you have your block. You're a little higher. Slowly lower the hips. Balance. And then lower the hips all the way. Come on forward onto that left hip. Little weight in the right leg. Lift and hover the left leg. Really feel the muscles of the inner thigh. Slowly bend left leg. Swing on over to your hips nice and slow. Wiggle around, try and get your sits bones even. So hips both land on the ground. Spine really, really tall. Inhale, arms overhead. And this time left elbow comes towards right knee. Twist and then lower your arms. Each time that you breathe, imagine you're breathing all the way down your spine. And exhaling out anything the twist is kind of releasing. So imagine cleansing breath coming in and exhaling, sweeping away anything no longer needed. Watch for slingshotting if you lift your arms. Make sure you're not pulling and yanking with your arms. And slowly come back. Unravel, legs out forward. Shake the legs, loosen and soften. And believe it or not, all the hard work is done. So take the legs, soften. Maybe lifting up a hip at a time, feeling the back, feeling the glutes. Noticing what is present. Really feeling any tightness or gripping. Wiggle the feet. Get to know what is present. And then slowly lower down onto your backs. Find your hips on the ground. Find your head on the ground. Let your shoulders melt onto the ground. Bring your right knee over your left and draw your knees in towards your stomach. And then pull your feet with your muscles of your legs towards opposite shoulders. So you're looking to find glute piriformis space on right side. So you may need to move the angle of your feet. Just move slow. You don't want to yank into your sacrum or into anywhere on your spine. You're really looking for that glute space right side. And when you find it, hold there and breathe into it as if you're sending all of your fresh breath right to that muscle group. Slowly unravel and take left knee over right. And same thing, feet to opposite shoulders. Find the glute space on the left side. Find that fight or flight muscle and breathe into it. Slowly unravel both feet to the ground, knees up, and take a little shuffle of the hips. Make sure lower back is super, super soft. So watch for over-talking the pelvis and forcing that lower back onto the ground. Leave the natural curve of your lower back. Take all the tension out of your hips and lower back. We're going to work the muscles of the neck. So before we do so, a note. Every movement that we're doing is to fire up the muscles, to feel them, not to strain them. So we worked our back a lot today, and sometimes we can push all that tension up into our neck muscles. So we're gonna see if we can get them to release a little. So first, chin to ceiling. Make sure you have the natural curve of your neck. Take a little side sway of the head. Let the shoulders land on the ground. Start to press the back of your head into the ground a little bit. So really press the head into the ground. See if you can find some muscles to fire up in the neck. So as you press your head into the ground, notice what else fires up. For me, my lower back immediately fired up. So try and bring softness into the low back and just press the back head. See if you can get the muscles at the base of the neck to fire up. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, let everything soften. Press the back of the head a little bit less this time. Take any hand and place the palm of your hand on the top of your forehead. So now you have a little bit of a press down from your hand. Now press your head up into your hand without letting your head move. So see if you can find some other muscles in your neck. See if you can fire them up. Don't fire them to straining point. Just fire them until you can locate them. Fire, fire, fire. And then take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, let everything soften back down and the hands soften back down. Taking a check-in on the shoulders, try to make sure the shoulders are as close to the ground as possible. You may need to flip your palms up and bend your arms a little more so that your shoulders can really get to the ground. Take your chin all the way over to the right shoulder. Notice what is present on the left side of the neck. Press your head down a little bit into the ground. Notice if you can get any muscles to fire up. See if you can get some muscles to fire up, keeping that left shoulder grounded. Take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, let everything soften. Still trying to keep your chin a little bit over to the right. And then with your head here, take your right hand and place it softly on your left temple. So now you have your hand here. And we're going to press our head into our hand without letting it move, very carefully. So just a little bit of neck muscle. Don't strain, don't push too hard. Just find the muscles on the left side of the neck. press and find. Fire them up. And then take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, let everything soften. Let the head land wherever it lands. Slowly bring your head back to neutral. So chin up, nice and soft. Remember your shoulders and make sure they're nice and grounded. And then slowly chin to left shoulder. Press the left side of your head a little bit into the ground. Find the muscles of the right side. Press, press, press. Feel those muscles. Connect to the muscles. Connect to what they feel like when they're working. Take a deep breath in and let them soften with the exhale. And then left hand comes to right temple, nice and soft. And then a little press of the head into the hand without letting it move. Find the muscles on the right side of the neck, maybe a little closer up towards the skull. Press and hold, find the muscles, connect with the muscles, check in with the muscles of the low back, and the chest and shoulder. And then take a deep breath in. And exhale, let go. Let the head land wherever it lands. Bring the chin back to neutral. Make sure the neck and shoulders are soft. Wiggle of the hips just to make sure the low back is also still soft. We're going to take our fingertips. We're going to place them on the hairline on top of our head. Find a little tension here, and then we're going to press our head into our fingertips without letting it move. See which muscles fire up. So try to lift your head without letting it move. See if you can find those muscles at the base of your skull. Maybe change the way your chin is just to see if you can find them. Take a deep breath in, and with the exhale, soften and let everything go. This time we're going to take our fingertips to the very base of our skull. So right at that place where our skull meets our neck, either side of our spine. So not on the spine, either side. And you're going to land your fingertips in like little claws and just a gentle pull outwards. So a little pull, little self-massage, and you can let the weight of your head land back into your fingers and then move your fingers around just a teeny bit. See if you can find any points of pressure that feel like the right spots. They feel nice, they feel like they're ready to let go. You can take gentle circles with the fingertips. You can gently move your head in your fingertips. Just explore this space, looking for any tension here. Maybe allowing your thumbs to make gentle circles behind the ears. And then slowly peel your fingertips away, letting your fingertips rub the scalp as you move. And then let your head land on the ground. See, that felt good. My brain switched off. Take your legs really, really, really long, as if somebody pulled one leg at a time away from the hip socket. Make them long and then point the toes. Stretch the front side of the legs and then maybe reach your arms up overhead. And stretch from the fingertips to the toes. Take any wiggles, circles with your feet, wiggles with the hips. Move in a way that your body feels like it's releasing its tension. Maybe circles with the wrists. You can bring a little stretch into the side body by moving the shoulders. Take a little self-exploration before you go into your resting pose. Notice what is present. Start to do your body scan while your body is still moving and active. Notice if there's gripping in the feet and around the hips and around the muscles of the breath. from the shoulders, the chest, the neck. Just notice what is present and then make a decision for where you want to be for your resting pose. Grabbing any props, grabbing a blanket, and adjusting and resting into the resting pose that you feel is right for you right now. Letting go of the idea of what you should and should not do, but doing what your body needs. Starting to release and soften into the ground. Squeeze the muscles of the feet really tight and then take a deep breath in and let them go. Squeeze the hands into fists, squeeze them tight. And then take a deep breath in and let it go. Soften your hands. Squeeze all the muscles of the face really, really, really tight. Squeeze. Pull everything as tight as you can. Scrunching up. And then softening and letting go. See if you can allow the muscles of the face to really let go of their tension. Soften in around the eyes. See if you can imagine a softness on the roof of your mouth and around the tongue. Bring all of your attention to your right ear. See if you can start to imagine a softness inside of the right ear, all the way towards the brain. So imagine you could soften with your intention the inner part of your hearing, the inner part of your ear. Imagine all of the times that you've winced and tightened around a sound. And imagine that just with a little attention here, you could bring more softness, more space. Let go. See if you can pick up a sound on the right side that exists more so on the right side than the left. Or maybe just imagine that you can hear a little easier on the right side. And then slowly switch all of your awareness over to the left ear. Bring all of your awareness and softness into the left ear. Maybe even imagining you're breathing in a fresh breath of fresh air into the left ear, and with the exhale you're letting go of all the tension, all the tightness in and around the ear. And there we have all this fascial tissue inside of our ear, and it can hold tension just like a muscle can hold tension. So really bring an thought of softness inside this space. Imagine you can hear a little more clearly with your left ear. And then slowly draw all of your awareness to the parts where upper and lower jaw meet, as if drawing from the center of your hearing right inside where upper and lower jaw meet. And whatever helps you bring softness here. Maybe you imagine little soft fluffy clouds of energy and you give them a temperature and a texture and a color, and you pocket them right in between upper and lower jaw. Or maybe you imagine your breath sweeping across from the inside middle of the jaw all the way across the face to the outer edge where upper and lower jaw meet, and then back across both upper and lower jaw. Inhale, fresh. Exhale, sweep it back. Sweep out whatever is no longer needed. And then bring all of your awareness to your teeth. And imagine you can intentionally soften your gums. Soften your gums, allow more freshness around your gums. As if you're suddenly allowing your teeth to just rest in your head. Think about all the work our mouth does, our teeth do. And then think about softening and allowing them to rest and take a break. Slowly soften your attention to the outside edges of both eyes. So without moving your eyes in your eye socket, your eyes are still soft as if they're looking forward. Imagine that you could soften into your peripheral vision, sometimes called Buddha eyes. Soften into the sides of your eyes. And then imagine you could gently fall backwards into the very center of the brain. Rest at the top of the spinal cord, the center, very center of the brain. And you can think about this anatomically. You can think about this as a ball of energy resting right here. Try to bring all of your awareness right into the center point of the brain. So think about the brain as it's made. The center point is our instinct point, our animal instinct point, the center of our brain. It is not where the thoughts occur. So imagine you can bury yourself right in the very center of the brain, and all of the thoughts are up on another layer. You know that they're there. You can see that they're there. And imagine you're resting in the center rather than being bashed about and swirled about by the thoughts. You're just kind of sitting in the center and looking back at them. Watching them, noticing them. Noticing that it is the brain's job to fire so many thousands of times a day. And then perhaps noticing that you're something a little more than just those thoughts. If you have the time to take a longer resting pose, listen to your body and take the time that it needs. If not, starting to make your way into a fetal position and holding into a fetal position for a little while, just reconnecting with present moment in time. And if you're staying in a resting pose, practice working your mind just as we worked our muscles. So practice just returning to that center point. And if you have to start the whole process of looking for tension in the body, softening the ears, watching for all that tension, and then drawing back to the center and watching the thoughts, be patient. Just keep returning to the practice. It's an exercise. It's just a practice. Let go of getting it perfect. Let go of that feeling of what your mind should and should not be. And just return to the practice. And if you're finishing up with us, slowly make your way to a seated position. Bring your hands at prayer at heart space. And as you're acknowledging your own inner wisdom, bringing your hands at prayer at heart space and finding that central inner wisdom within you. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge bringing your left and right sides to meet in front of your heart, as if accepting yourself as whole and complete precisely as you are. And then return to your truth vow from the start of practice. And notice as you whisper it to yourself inside your head. If it seems a little easier, if it seems a little more true, and if not, say it with a little more compassion and kindness. May everybody be wrapped in warmth and kindness throughout their day. Thanks for joining us.